Witajte, kamaráti.
Here's how you make an apple pie. Measure 2 cups of flour. Put that into your mixing bowl. Then we'll need a teaspoon of salt. 2/3 cup of Crisco. Sometimes I like to use the buttery flavor, but they both work well. This is the buttery flavor Crisco. And we're going to mix this until it looks like little peas. They're all mixed together, so like little peas. Cold water, and I put an ice cube in it because I'm going to need about 6 to 7 tablespoons of cold water. Usually it's 6. Sometimes I'll add 7 if it needs it. Doesn't seem to need it. So I'll stay with the 6. You can tell by feeling it so it's not too wet. You don't want it to be wet. But you do want it to be moist. 2 sheets. And I take this out and I make it into 2 pretty much even balls for the bottom crust and the top crust. Down, then I take an extra wax paper and put it on the top. I'm going to get this kind of in the center though, so that you're going to roll it out like this. Then you just start rolling. One way. This takes some doing, then you turn it around the other way because you want to get it in a nice round circle.
Ja jem jabłka każdy dzień.
Every now and then you need to turn it over because it kind of gets wrinkles the other side. You're going to roll it over a bit and lift that a little bit so it straightens it out. And you roll some more. Don't worry too much about the thickness because if it gets to the size that you need, it's pretty much the right thickness. So what I do is when I get to thinking that it might be sort of the right size, I take my pie plate. See, but you have to consider that it's got to go up the side of the lip. So it's not quite done yet. If you press down on the one side in the center, you'll get more to go out because then it'll make it not so thick in the center. Fill out the top paper. Then you just take this and lay it on the top of this like that. And then you fill it this way. You have to be careful on the edges though. If you just pull it fast, you're going to rip your whole pie crust. It could be sticking on the end. There. Once you get it in there, you can slide it into where you need it. If you get a hole in the center, you just pinch it together. The dough is nice and pliable. Harder to roll it out. Once again, put it on the one layer of wax paper, press it down, the other one on top, and you start rolling again. 9 or 10 inch pie, that 2 cups works out pretty good. See? So what I'm going to need now is to get my apples. They're in the other refrigerator. The apple mixture, you have about 6 cups of sliced apples. And then you put in, the recipes call for a cup of sugar, but I just think that's way too much. So I put in usually about 1/2 to 3/4 cup. And depending on how sour the apples are. And then there's a teaspoon of cinnamon, 1/4 teaspoon of nutmeg, and 2 tablespoons of flour that you mix together, then you put over the apples. Then you dot it with 2 tablespoons of butter. Okay, now we're going to put the top layer over. What I do is I find to see what ends are the shortest and then just kind of match up where the long end goes so that you have enough to fold it over. You don't want to leave too much on the end because then the crust gets a little bit too thick. So. my thumb in and bring my forefinger up. So I do it. It's the easiest for me. But there are different ways to defeat the edge of the pie. Okay. Now, you have to put holes in there for the steam to escape. So, take a little knife. You can make any design you want. I like to make a leaf or an apple. This one time I'll just make a leaf. How's that? Good to protect the edges of your crust when you're baking it. It doesn't have to be a perfect mold, just so that. And it's ready to go in. Some people like to put just sprinkle sugar on the top, or just brush some milk on the top. It just changes the color of the top of the pie. And I put it in at 400 for 50 minutes. Sometimes I add another 5 minutes to it.
What I like to do is take the leftover dough, I roll it out, put some cinnamon and sugar in it, and then I roll it. It's pretty ugly. Yeah, we're gonna bake this baby. I remember doing this as a kid. It was great.
I think it's ready.
What are we shooting for here? Golden color for this crust? Or
Just, like very light brown.
okay, looks good to me. It smells delicious.
Muy menzel blazen.